Oi, guys, I thought I thought I'd jump on here because I've got kind of a funny story. Plus, I haven't done a video in a little bit, and I'm a little bit like, oh, I want to get on. I want to get on. Had some computer trouble. Ah, boy, oh boy. And it took. I love the fact that we have the technology, but I tell you what, the technology, sure, because it's nice getting well. I didn't really want to get a new computer because this is one of the reasons why I was transferring everything over to the new computer. And don't get me wrong, much gratitude for the fact that I can even have a new computer. But when it went down in the middle of a session a couple of weeks ago, I thought, oh boy, it's time. I spoke to my wife's a computer expert. I'm not very good with technology. I've learned a lot, I've got to admit, since I got into podcasting and vlogging, etc. But I really kind of learning as I'm going along. And my wife is she's the computer expert. And she said, the computer's 6 years old and it can't keep up with everything that you're doing. I think it's time you need another computer. And I'm like, oh, uh, the much, the much thanks to the fact that I can. But at the same time, yes, it's my work. That was my main objective. Was like, I need something for work. I want to get work going. But I also needed something to keep up with everything, like my wife said, to do with everything that I'm doing. But we spent a lot of time swapping things over, and it came up the other night with this. All my files came up. I didn't know where anything was. I was like scratching my head. It was like I went straight back to the beginning of when I first started learning all this stuff. And all these little red kind of strikes came up next to a lot, actually, of my files. And I'm like, what's that? And my wife's going, And if my wife's going, I'm like, oh no. Disaster! Right? That's where we go. So he finds out that it's crazy, really. But it was I've got plenty of storage on this computer. One of the biggest things that I needed, and thanks to Grom for helping me out and setting me right a little in the right direction when it comes to requirements with computers. Because again, I don't know shit. I've got my wife and those around me that know him, and I ask them the questions. Grom being one of them, being around, being there, he does photography and videography and YouTube channel and he's really, really good at what he does. I ask the people that know. So this thing is like absolutely screaming fast, and it's got a ton of storage on it because I didn't have that much storage on the other computer. That was the other problem that I was facing. But what happened was they wanted me to go to, I can't remember the name of this app. It kept directing me there anyway. Outlook? I might have that wrong though. Don't quote me on that. But it kept saying, your storage has run out, and that's what these little red things were. And I'm like, what the heck? And my wife says, wow, that's really crazy. Because and then it says, hey, if you want to buy more storage, and we're looking at it, and I'm like, don't I? And my wife's like, you got a ton of storage straight on your hard drive. You don't need to be going to the cloud. It's the reason why we got you And I thought, wow, I don't know if I like that. So I thought, you know what? First and foremost, let's put that out there, because if you're like me and you're new to all this, because I'm really scratching the surface on all what I'm doing, but if you're new to this kind of thing, you see messages like that, you're going to start going, I need more story. Because I don't know. I only know what my wife tells me. And have I learned more? Yes. Like I said, I've learned a lot of stuff along the way, especially diving in straight into podcasting and, learning about cables and where cables go and microphones. I'm still, again, scratching the surface, so I don't know a lot. Hence the reason why I'm going, well, I need more storage. And my wife's like, no, you don't. You've got tons of storage. But I don't like this catching you off guard thing. So just be aware of these things, guys, right? Just be aware of these things that get put in front of us. You buy these things with good, hard-earned money, that you have put a lot of time in to earn. I mean, if you look at something that you buy and think, okay, how many hours of work did it take me to get that? How many hours of saving, right? How long did it take me to save for this? And then, that becomes the value. So when you buy something and you get it and you set it all up, and then all of a sudden there's these errors coming up and it's pointing towards buying something that you really, really don't need. It kind of puts me off a little bit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So just be aware of that, guys. It's something just to be aware of. Like I say, I'm learning as I go along. My wife explained to me once she found out what was actually happening, because she dives back and finds out where roots are on these bloody things and where things are coming from and why a fire will be off somewhere. And I sit here going, I need more storage. But I thought it kind of weird when my wife says, it's saying that your storage is out. And I'm like, what? I just bought a computer. What are you talking about? I know that. I'm a consumer. I'm like, hang on, that don't make sense. But yeah, it can happen. And, be careful of these scams. I'm getting a lot of, like, you've got mail coming and we can't get it to you unless you give us, your address or whatever it was saying. I've sent them to my wife so many times, because a couple of times I've looked at them and thought, man, that really looks legit. She's gone, no. So just be aware of these things, because especially now, the people who are out there and they don't give a shit how they get it off of you. They're gonna try everything possible to get that off of you. So, just be cautious, be aware. If you're getting emails and it ain't the right kind of email address wherever it's coming from, or you don't recognise it, either get someone to check it out or, call the place directly, because if it's a bank trying to get a hold of you, call the bank and say, hey, are you trying to get a hold of me? Tell the person, I will call you back, and call the bank directly and say, hey, listen, is there and they will tell you, oh, yes, and then you know that you make direct link, or no, and you know that there's something not quite right. So, yeah, just be aware of that when you're getting computers and you're getting into some of these, because I'm getting into a whole different world now. I mean, it's a beautiful place to be. I'm completely in the unknown, even though, a year ago when I started the podcasting, I really didn't know. I know a lot more now through the learning process, but, just be aware. And then I had a bit of a funny story I wanted to add on the end of this was my daughter was telling me about something with Instagram. She goes, I think you might need an update on Instagram. So she grabs my phone and she goes, oh, what's your password to something? I don't know. and she's like, well, so then she starts doing the old thumbprint thing. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, it gets you in and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we got it done. My wife was out in the backyard, just taking the dog out back. And as she comes back in, I'm like, hey. And my youngest goes, hey, don't grass. And I'm like, oh, hold on a minute. Let me ask a question. And I'm like, am I going to get freaking people are going to be on my back? I'm just dubious of things like that. And, even though I know it's all linked and all, and it's all, they say it's safe, I get a little bit worried about that kind of thing. And I'm like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Even though it makes it convenient, and you go, bloop, and it's like, oh, okay. And there's nothing safer than, your prints. You're the only person with them. But I just get this, again, with everything that's going on, and I just get this, like, I don't know if I like that. But my wife's birthday tomorrow. Go and wish her a big happy birthday. She's an absolute amazing person. I really met me a good one there. She puts up with my shit, that's for sure. That's for sure. And that's the 16th. I say tomorrow, 16th of March is her birthday. So go and give some love that way if you would as well. And again, just be cautious. Enjoy yourselves. You don't have to be looking over your shoulder every 3 minutes. Enjoy yourselves, and but have an awareness, and don't be taken for a mug, as we'd say back in London. Don't be a mug. Don't be in someone's mug pocket, eh? in someone's pocket. Yeah, don't be a mug. And because you can quite easily, like I say, I mean, again, I'll read things and I think, God, that looks legit, but I'll always pass it by somebody and get things checked out. So enjoy yourselves, love one another, care about one another, give someone your heart, give someone much love and kisses, and check on each other, make sure each other's good, and you can't go any better than love, showing that love. Stay the course, guys. Namaste.